Man, it has been a while since I last recorded a video. Blame my education for that. But anywho, as I promised months ago, here's my part 2 of my recommended anime for newcomers. Part 1 should appear as the annotation if you missed it by any chance. Also, I would like to heavily stress that this is in no particular order over what I recommend over the other. So without further ado, let us begin. Attack on Titan is indeed a no-brainer, and it has the potential to make it as a massive blockbuster that can essentially be the cash cow of the decade if Hollywood are there to market that shit along with this cut. I digress, so allow me to explain. With this threat to humanity where we have giant 50 feet supersized naked people roaming the towns, demolishing buildings and feasting on people for the sheer lols, thus humans are left to fend for themselves with these badass maneuver gears and these butcher knife looking sword things that ultimately bring out the inner badass of every individual, especially Mikasa. So I highly recommend suggesting Attack on Titan to the kind of person that has a short attention span and occasionally jacks off to anything close to epic. FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood is the quintessential gateway series. We have a lovable cast of likable characters that are in check with the human galore, mature themes, and don't forget the epic soundtrack. While the exterior of the show may seem quite long with its sheer amount of episodes, the story itself is easy to follow without getting lost, whilst the action keeps upping the ante. And therefore this shonen will have you craving more shows like it. Especially if you're into adventure series, try Hunter x Hunter 2011, unless you're okay with the fact that this show may never conclude. BTOOOM is one of my favourite survival series, animated by Madhouse. This is an easy show to recommend on the fly, especially if you brag to your buddy that it's most similar to the Hunger Games, except with the added rape scene, bombs, explosions, gushing blood, and the extensive character development and an overall better story in my honest opinion. All in all, despite BTOOOM not coming to a conclusion in the end, at the very least, this show can be a great stepping stone to other survival series like Dead Man Wonderland, Mirai Nikki, and might as well throw in High School of the Dead, and especially if it's a bloke you're suggesting to hear, and if they loved High School of the Dead, then try High School DxD, and I'm getting too ahead of myself, aren't I? Well, on to the next one. If your friend is the kind of person that's interested in futuristic sci-fi crime series, then Psycho Pass is the way to go forward. In a world where law is pretty much discarded and replaced with a system called the Psycho Pass that passes judgment on the individual and measures the potential of you committing a crime, if you are seen as a threat, or even a potential threat, you must either spend the rest of your life in an isolated empty cubicle, or you work for the police force as an enforcer to hunt down other criminals and do the same shit to them. The plot itself escalates much further in the show, questioning the morals of the system and how society has adapted and accepted this lifestyle where you can't fend for yourself once your Psycho Pass level has escalated, nor expect anyone to save you whatsoever. And even the smallest things, as lending out a hand to a victim, can get you thrown into isolation. Popular recommendations suggest to try Ghost in the Shell if you enjoyed Psycho Pass. TORADORA. I wholeheartedly recommend TORADORA as a great starter for rom-coms, especially if you're looking into a serious romantic story that has its unexpected twists and turns that you wouldn't even expect to occur from the start. Therefore, this anime makes a great stepping stone to other great rom-coms out there like Sakura So, which has a stronger focus on all the characters and is frankly more funny. If that's not your thing, then try Golden Time if you want more drama and unpredictability and a different setting to your generic rom-com.
My boyfriend.
Angel Beats is a good all-rounder and a gateway series, especially if you want to offer that healthy mix of comedy, slice of life, school, action, fantasy, and drama. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? But you cannot go wrong with Angel Beats with the sheer variety this show has to offer as a short 13-episode series, which can go hand on hand with FULLMETAL Panic as a follow-up recommendation, and it's a good short series to introduce someone into without the overwhelming number. At the end of the day, this is the method that practically everyone will still gravitate towards even after watching this video, as the success rate of these series certainly work most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Especially now, as year by year we're getting newer series that we can finally recommend without a second of hesitation. Like last year we had the arrival of Attack on Titan, year before that Sword Art Online, and of course the rest go along the lines of Death Note, Cowboy Bebop, and Evangelion, and so on. The purpose of this video was to give you all that broader selection of shows that I myself deem worthy of checking out from nearly every genre of anime, except yaoi and ecchi. And since gateway series don't necessarily work 100% of the time, it's always best to recommend a show that plays into the person's strength of interest of whoever it is that you're recommending an anime to. Overall, I feel that this selection should help you guys out if you are a veteran looking to try out a new genre, or a beginner looking for an anime to get you into a specific genre as well. So now I ask you guys, what was your gateway anime that encouraged you to watch more anime? Please do share down below in the comments below, and don't forget to leave that like right there and share this video so that you can inform everyone else on what animes to suggest as well to newcomers who still believe anime is just purely hentai. And feel free to follow me on Twitter or Hummingbird if you have any burning questions you'd like me to answer. I'll speak to you all in the next video later.